What's up, my fellow friendos, and a warm welcome or welcome back to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. We're on episode 6 of Survivor Blood vs. Water now, and this cast just keeps it coming. Ew, what's with this water? Let's find out what they're doing today. Enjoy the show. Previously on Survivor Blood vs. Water, Lamar and Stephanie faced off in a cookout, and Stephanie wins a nice grill for her tribe. She then sends Venla alongside Lamar to the pavilion. It turned out to be a bad idea, as the two did not get along and failed a secret task for an advantage. At the immunity challenge, castaways tried to collect some seamies from some faulty vending machines, and Margot carried Wulong to another victory, sending Menghu to their 4th tribal in a row. How do I explain this tribe? Malcolm and Aki began some sort of showmans. Marlon called out Venla for her challenge performance. Bissam guns for Houston hard, and Aki tries to rally the troops against the Fitbits. In the end, the Fitbits won out and they sent an enraged Venla packing, probably for the better. 19 are left, who will be voted out tonight. Dun dun dun! Welcome back to Sim Survivor, folks! Menghu returns from yet another tribal council, the most confusing one by far. Aki is absolutely fuming at the result after losing her closest ally, Venla.
Waga Fruge, Warba Quest, Bamkaro Sumbisi, Klimp.
And Tejas is on top of the world though. He's so happy his little showman Houston stayed in the game. They cannot contain their excitement.
Kosher Shanoi, Pibata Nu, Chabby Gobi, Roshitamboy.
Well, everyone else has already gone to bed, so we'll check in with everybody tomorrow then. Good night, castaways! Lian is up first the next morning and she's contemplating life again. Her midlife crisis ends in a little less than 2 days, so she better make all the connections she can before she loses her bonus. My goodness, look at her adventurous spirit. Atta girl, Lian.
Bajana, Dornav, Snope Fleeza, Pipitao.
Charlotte's up and she has made some grilled plantains for everybody. Oh, and she is digging in. Slow down, ma'am. I love how Ailey is annoyed simply because Troy exists. Stephanie, what the hell? Why are you out of camp? How'd you sneak out? Okay, I teleported her back. Anyways, Malcolm is doing a little dancey dance for Aki here. Well, she is definitely swooned by that somehow.
Leonard, Lovocanathoy, Zabora.
While those two flirt the day away, somebody's really angry that he's not getting any. Oh my god, Houston, you can't keep having the worst day ever whenever you get votes. He's just sulking at the table. And he's gonna go look for Antaeus. On the Wulong tribe, Gary and Zarina are getting close again after Margot is taking some time away from Gary. And Ty is getting to know his fellow diva Lamar a little more after joining the alliance. It's Margot's turn to make a bond with the adults and the elders of the tribe. She's starting with Len and Hanu at breakfast.
For Pasa Esenoi, Trofa, Bahushu Foibi. Oh. Patanabi, Pifital Demfish, Sibawum Florib, West Braham.
Kajira also joins in the conversation with Hanu. They've been close since the start. And ooh, Lian's getting excited. Is she talking to Charlotte? Maybe she's just loudly contemplating life again. While everyone's here, Troy's just at the back isolating himself. Well, he's not alone. Ty has warmed up to him once again, and he's just happy to have his old Troy back. Oh my god, Troy! Now why would you do that? This is not what I meant when I told you to rejoin civilization. Ailey warns Ty about Troy and that the #1 rule of the Divas Alliance is anti-Troy, okay?
Hanabi.
Troy instantly comes back over to defend himself. This is quite a heated discussion, yet civil, I guess? Ailey is enjoying this, I can tell.
Floofy Yaspa. Shipnoid. Reni Ufa? Yaba.
Well, that was a fun chain of events, but now we're about to have another hero duel. Wulong, take a good look at the new Menghu tribe. Venla voted out at the last tribal council.
Huh? Gasha Crimbo. Chu. Ibby Chip? Fazunya.
Alrighty, we'll now flip a coin to determine the tribe. And it's Tails! Menghu gets to pick. Wait, Lamar, what are you doing there? We're about to spin the wheel to decide who gets to play today. It's Aki! Wow. Aki will play in the hero duel, so she's facing off against Ty. And since this is a special occasion, I will allow the two to meet first, just for a few minutes. Say hi! Oh please. After one respectful introduction, sure. Ty says hello, and he feels great.
Tappin Kwarshabin. Shimray. Lonsasarde. Here Kaywireee FC. Yam full step. Hanpei. Tibanahanu. Us like Jiffanal. Oh, got it.
Sensibi Kiniku. Swarspa Githara. Kanumi. Merkel Zira. Pandoli Usanet. Smishy Yafana. Zafis Muchi Pichi. Fenjip.
Well, their first impressions are funny. Aki thinks Ty is the coolest sim ever, while Ty thinks Aki is the nature maniac. Like, please, so judgmental, Ty. Well, this reunion will be cut short now because we have a duel to play. Today's hero duel is a game of Juice Pong, who we haven't seen since the last season of Sim Survivor pretty much. The duelers will face off in one game of Juice Pong, and the winner will win reward. Reward today is a swing set and a chess table. You can use this to take your mind off the game or strengthen your body and your mind with your tribe mates. The possibilities are endless. Wulong is sad and Menghu is also sad. Let the hero duel begin. Ty goes over all the way to the other side for some reason. Oh, nice one, Ty. He's so proud of himself. Aki does not miss either. The juice is strong in the Wyoming siblings. Well, we don't talk about that one. Jesus, that's way too many tears. Aki gets another one in easy. Chug. Your wish is Aki's command. She gets another one in. She's now one away from winning. Okay, Ty, you don't need to be that happy. Aki goes for the win. And she does it! Aki wins the duel and reward! Ty, it's off to the pavilion for you, but Aki now has a decision on who to send with you.
Rezo Tharbo. Dabishi. Pandale. Lindsay Nurska. Fasanoi Valpim. Vonti. Maribi. Damse Brahana.
Savage, Aki! Aki picks her least closest ally, which is Stephanie. Stephanie, you will join Ty as you will spend the night at the pavilion together. You will both return to your tribes in time for the immunity challenge tomorrow. Enjoy your stay! Alright, back to the tribes, y'all, and enjoy those sweet rewards, Menghu. Stephanie and Ty arrive at the pavilion together where they are faced with another sign. Let's see what it says. Ooh, it's the element of water, the fifth element. The fluidity for all who desires, the power to demolish multiple stories. They who is one with the waters may wash away all your worries. Stephanie is really focused on this thing. She wants to figure this out really bad.
Uspa. Nova Shun. Turu Kana. Chemistor. Zifron. Yivitava. Supivdo Hebene.
Michelle. Oh, it's Mira. Did you steal her phone away? Well, good. Lamar and Charlotte have a rough start to the game, but they have patched things up now and they talk on the daily.
Oh, how finesse. Swept some flow. Silma Roy.
Bokana Yam. Sharnu. Pleave. Tanif Bazoo Pliva Pamiv.
Ty seems to be very eager to get to know Stephanie. He's giving her a funny introduction. Ty is best friends with Lamar, so he probably already knows all about Stephanie. Rude. She just turns around and goes for the kiddie pool. My goodness. She's hellbent on getting this advantage, whatever it is. Ty's like, okay.
Quasenex Nurchel, Squaz Nurska, Seraphi, Payapardu, Gisnaplushi, Kam Renzi, Quasenex Nurchel, Squaz Nurska.
Damn, Aki immediately goes to work on a new business plan. She's like, you wanna survive, Houston? Just vote Stephanie out. Stephanie who? She's living the life. Not a care in the world. Wow, the adults are very popular today. Lamart's bonding with Hanu now, and Margot's telling gross jokes to Lien.
It's Judah. Kubao. Tebow. Ganir. Pruba. Bener.
This woman really went from one kiddie pool to another. Please. Aki continues to spread the plan about Stephanie and hopes Bassam will call off the hit on Houston. Meanwhile, Marlon and Antaeus make plans of their own. Who will they target this time?
Wash, Dombrabo Caro, Banjib, Meshka Craney, Possum Rubina.
I mean, hard agreed. Those two are absolutely in love. The two bounce off the idea to Houston, seeing if they want to work with their alliance possibly. Could take the heat off of him. Oh my god, they just had their first kiss. Please! You know what they say, kiss first, woohoo later. I just made that up. They're definitely all over each other though. The game still comes first. Let's talk strategy, Malcolm.
Oh, Viene Lemon. Brisham. Oh, Slangy.
Well, Gary and Zarina definitely have hearts of gold, still trying to change Troy's ways even after he burned them both. Gary's talking to Troy again and tell him that he needs to tone down the sass if he wants to stay in the game. Troy seems receptive, whatever this is.
Belaroo, Yabakoi, Hargrit Planabe, Weezo Stayib, Wib, Tweevo Bebso, Watsu Gorg.
Ailey? She's patrolling again. Troy! Oh my god! Troy sees her and immediately runs away. Her power, I'm gagging. Oh, definitely don't want to mess with Ailey and her weed vacuum. Aw, Stephanie and Ty finally interact and they made hot dogs together. And she immediately goes back to the kiddie pool once she's done. But ding ding ding! Stephanie completes the secret task for this round, which is to lounge in all 3 kiddie pools at the pavilion. Stephanie has gained a very special advantage, possibly the most powerful in the game, the Wipeout Idol. This idol wipes away all votes for the round and sends all castaways into a revote, while making all the previous vote getters immune. I think this is so-called like a tribe reset idol in some games. Basically, tribal is reset and those who have gotten votes before are now immune, and everyone gets to revote. I hope that makes sense.
Sabavia Var, Zaffo, Pelagam Nashur, Lucci.
A big congratulations to Stephanie! Meanwhile, Ty just stands there. He's all alone again. Stephanie is in Stephanie's world. Lamar and Charlotte chat into the night under the waterfall. She's slowly infusing herself with the Divas Alliance, I think. Zarina tries to tell Gary that she's doing the same thing as him in mingling with the teenagers, and that sets Gary off. Zarina's not here for it though. She gives him the cold shoulder. Oof. Gary just slinkers off the bed. Ailey becomes competition too as she mingles with Kajir. Oh, very emotional. Ailey's expressions kill me. She's like, really? She puts on her game face and cheers him up though.
Smurd Zucchini, Zapoim, Lam Yima, Lamas, Diaflu, Yamasani.
Iba Deso, Bang Trip, Balafoy, huh? Supposed to Hibine, Happyum, Evanage.
On Menghu, Violet and Antaeus are back being happy and giddy. Seems like Houston is kind of mixed in with this group now, huh? Marlon has some reservations though, but Houston's just happy to be wanted. Anything for you, Antaeus.
Spabani, Harfase Hoivoy, Melba Degabo, Yadumsa Lagenzo, Bene, Reshnichenko, Mopsy Degrash.
Well, finding the advantage definitely did not stop Stephanie from having fun. Ty's like, is she for real?
Rubin Kasana,
prop. Blue drip skates.
By the time Stephanie got out, Tai was already done for the night. Well, that's day 13 for ya. Immunity challenge is coming right up in the morning, so don't go anywhere. Tai wakes up the next morning and is immediately greeted with a stinky comment by Stephanie. Poor guy. She makes fun of Tai's stench and Tai's like, really? On Wulong, the early birds Lian and Hyanu are touching base. They're in better positions now, so they have to agree on everything that they do together.
Safaba, Eve day so, Yambalava, Bledo Blofa, Fredoy Brepa.
The youngsters wake up too. Kajir, what the? Ah yes, the air salt returns. I bet Gary loves having salt on his back. Thank you, Gary. Don't mind if I do. The teenagers all take Gary's food and they run off.
Weezo Stayib. Pana Boomki. Sinara. Oh.
Dramatic! Alright, come on in. We have chairs for y'all today so you can be better organized on the mat. And yes, Tai and Stephanie get to return to their tribes for immunity. Let's see what awaits us today, shall we? Oh, mapo tofu, my love, my life. The fragrance of the sauce and the numbing flavor of the peppercorns. This dish is a delight in so many ways. I can eat this dish any day of the year. Winter, summer, you name it. Actually, here's some real pictures. Savor it through the screen. This 2D, 3D looking sim food does not do it justice. Okay, now that I'm done lusting over food, did I mention this dish can be spicy as hell? Spice doesn't faze me, but it may faze the Sims. Both tribes will send a representative to go head-to-head in this Mapo Tofu Spice Challenge to see who can keep the heat down. In each round, the first castaway to spit fire will be the loser, giving the opposing tribe a point. The first tribe to 7 points will win immunity and guarantee their tribe's safety. Losers will face me in Tribal Council with burning tongues as they vote out the 6th person out of this game. The Mapo Tofu is ready! Oh, I'm telling Nate we're having Mapo Tofu tonight. Yep. Well, all of Menghu is playing, so prepare yourselves. And Wulong, you're sitting 3 lucky people out of today's challenge. Cannot sit out the same people in back-to-back challenges, so Ailey and Kajir will both join this one. I'll give you a moment to decide who will play. And let's get spicy! And we're all set! I've sat everyone a little closer so it doesn't take forever to come to the table. And sitting out for Wulong are Hanu, Zarina, and Charlotte. I can tell everyone's very nervous for this challenge. Good. So, round 1, representing Wulong is Lian, and rapping Menghu is Antaeus. If we're ready, let's eat. Lian and Antaeus chow down. Antaeus loses! Marlon? Marlon, where are you going?
Winnie Fez, Septum, Simona Sarah, Evelyn.
Wulong has 1 point so far, and Margot takes on Aki. Ooh, Margot cannot keep the heat down, which means Menghu scores 1 point too. Aki held that flame in just long enough. Lamar is facing off against Stephanie next. Lamar wants some revenge from their hero duel, I see. Well, eat up. No cooking this time, so we'll see who's the better eater. Oh my god, Stephanie is dropping her food left and right, please! Oh, maybe it works cause Lamar loses, which means Stephanie wins another point for Menghu.
Yikla Odri. Hello, Yam. Nopsa.
Next up is Bissam versus Ailey. Bissam is terrible with chopsticks, which gives Ailey an opening to breathe fire. Bissam wins for Menghu. He's also upset because he just ate meat though. So did he really win?
Yaflo Tree. Rabatsi Yibo. Snibara. Yibna.
Sorry, Bissam. Well, Houston and Gary want to make their own hero duel as well, so they're gonna duel in the Spice Challenge. Bon appetit, gentlemen! Oof, Gary cannot take the heat and he loses. Houston earns Menghu their 4th point.
Snurbiapa Pelzo. Creambola Creech. Smebs Woony. Hinawanu.
Alright. Oh. Troy gets another face? A distant face? Girl, really? Now it's not really the time, Troy. Moving on, a sad vegetarian Kajir faces off against Malcolm. Not Malcolm just rubbing it in Kajir's face and enjoying it. Well, Kajir wins Wulong their 2nd point. It's a teenager face-off next with Troy versus Marlon. Oh, wow, no fires yet. That's already 2 bites. and Marlon cannot take it. Troy wins Wulong their 3rd point. Troy, a depressed smelly tie, faces off against Violet next. Violet stealing the stabby technique from Stephanie to prolong her eating. And it works! Ty loses, which means Violet earns Menghu their 5th point. Okay, everybody has gone at least once at this point, and since we're on Survivor, we like torture. So the losers will be the ones who will face off again. Winners can just sit and look pretty. So for round 9, we're bringing back Margot versus Antaeus. Enjoy! Second time's the charm for one of these castaways at least. Oh, Antaeus loses it out of nowhere. Malcolm later also fails to keep it down, which means Wulong has tied it up with Menghu with 5 points each. Ailey and Marlon chow down next, and Marlon's picking up on the strategy. He wins Menghu their 6th point. One more and it's immunity. 2-time loser Antaeus is back and facing off against Gary. This is your chance to win immunity for your tribe, Antaeus. And Gary hopes to tie it up to give Wulong another shot. Begin. Please, they're both so sad. Oh damn! Antaeus loses again! If only you waited a few seconds, Antaeus. This is the final round. Y'all, give Ty a break, please. And go. Okay, Bissam. Oh no, Ty's gonna lose it. Did that start at the same time? I'll have to review the footage real quick. Be right back. So after reviewing the footage, they basically did it at the same time. So I'll move on to the tiebreaker then. The ultimate losers, Ailey versus Antaeus. Whoever wins will win immunity for their tribe. No pressure here. Oop, Antaeus drops some food. And it works! Ailey breathes fire, which means Menghu gets their final point and wins immunity. Wow, I miss saying that. So this is editing Kaywireee talking, and after checking it frame by frame literally, there is a single frame here where the fire appears in Ty's mouth before Malcolm's. Not that it affected the outcome, cause Menghu won anyway, but maybe Antaeus could have eaten one last dish of mapo tofu. Oh well. Congratulations! For the first time in a week, you're not going to tribal tonight. Take the evening off and rest, y'all. Ew, Gary, seriously? Anyway, Wulong, your winning streak comes to an end, and I will see you at Tribal Council tonight, where the 6th person will be voted out of this game. Give you the evening to figure out who that will be. See you tonight. Wulong's going to Tribal. I wonder how the tribe dynamic shifted after a whole week. Kajeri's freaking singing. Good to know. Margot instantly pulls Lamar aside to talk plans. They don't share an alliance, but they've definitely bonded.
Dasmikos Karenzi, Funchil Bratsa, Spupam. Oh, Nimbahisk.
Margot's really on a roll today. She's leading the crusade against Troy tonight, and she's now relaying the plan to Ty. Ailey's target is also Troy, of course, as if he's not swimming past them. She is very decided on it, but Kajiri is not really convinced.
Illinois, Schmezel Klim Flisserak. Wapatab, Muchi Pichi.
He later joins in the conversation as Ailey talks to Hanu like, "Hey Ailey, who's the plan tonight? Hanu's like, "Help, get me out of here please." He later goes to shore and excitedly tells everybody the plan. If there's a name, he's rolling with it.
Chilladu, Cribs, Tumba Crimbao.
Zarina's just trying to save her own butt from the vote, so she tells Troy she is not voting for him. It's too obvious. Who else though?
Ruhana de Lopa, de Weeper Vush, Buna, from.
Word travels fast on this tribe. Suddenly everyone's talking. Kajira now spreads the word and some names to Lien. Oh, she looks excited.
Yiflamanor? Yakana Namil. Chumpachana, Dorna. Palachavas, fees, on
The idol? He told her about the idol? Wow, he must really trust her judgment then. She tells him that he doesn't need to use it, and he seems pretty convinced this time. Ma'am, now Mira's calling non-stop. Some Sakura tea at the romance festival? Gary, on the other hand, has been keeping to himself all day. He's not saying a word to anyone. What's going on?
Nowsy Yap. Serpido. Moishi Viva Flabe.
Ailey and Lian have bonded tremendously over the past few days, to the point where Lian shares everything with Ailey.
Stevie Flina.
Just me. Be Pepto Uncum.
Charlotte comes over to see where everyone's head is at. She got votes at the first tribal council, so she definitely doesn't want any more. She listens and just dips. Please!
Dimisamas. Unka Plashu. Torky. Shuksa Fazoo. Huh? Grasha. Zomas. Bunavush.
Zarina is really
Charles
insistent on keeping Troy for some reason. They're talking and hatching their own plans. Margot sees this and tells Zarina to snap out of it. Don't protect the little troll.
Tonga choosing.
Kajir is now at the table trying to bridge the gap between Troy and Margot.
Nu yapsa Suneb? Snasna Girja. Yabanush.
Charlotte swims over to join Lian and Ailey. She says, howdy do. Not Lian just getting up and leaving. Please, she left so fast. Hold up, they just met? Lian thinks she's weird and pretentious? Lian!
Camus Zamonacera. Apala Chalva is a feast for Mon Sikafus.
Miranai. Sharba. Durfna. Nahara.
Okay, but it's also been 2 weeks. How have you not met a tribe mate for 2 whole weeks? Ty and Troy are also having a last-minute talk just minutes before tribal. They've definitely reconciled, but does Ty have strong enough connections to save his survivor brother?
Galpa Fateb. Benopa Campe. Wasaba Gorpina. Zabuim Napatane. Rubin.
And with that, it's time for Tribal Council! Don't forget your torches! And we shall meet at the train station. Well, aren't y'all dressed to impress? Everybody's looking sharp. Ailey put on a whole ass dress for Tribal. Blaze your torches and we'll begin shortly. Oof, jeez, Hanu. Hello, Wulong! Haven't seen you in a while. If we're ready, let's get to the vote. Gary, you're up.
The door.
Alright, if anybody has an advantage or an idol and you would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Okay then, I will now read the vote. First vote, Troy. That's 1 vote Troy. Second vote, Troy. That's 2 votes Troy. Kajir. That's 2 votes Troy, 1 vote Kajir. Kajir again. We're tied. 2 votes Troy, 2 votes Kajir. Lian. That's 2 votes Troy, 2 votes Kajir, 1 vote Lian. Lian. We're tied. 2 votes Troy, 2 votes Kajir, 2 votes Lian. Kajir. That's 3 votes Kajir, 2 votes Troy, 2 votes Lian. Troy. We're tied. 3 votes Troy, 3 votes Kajir, 2 votes Lian. Troy. That's 4 votes Troy, 3 votes Kajir, 2 votes Lian. 6% voted out of Survivor Blood vs. Water. Troy. That's 5 votes. That's enough. Gotta bring me your torch. Well, Troy's finally gone. I really liked Troy pre-season, but after his mean streak and his now distant phase, yeah, I think his elimination is sadly inevitable. Troy, the tribe has spoken. Time for you to go.
Skooma Day. Ben Copa. Huevo. Kyoka Dosp. Noosh. Huevo Upla. Chiruk. Baroga Sapino. Chinobs. Balafoy. Chazzle. Olive. Ifyoba.
Well, looks like most of you are still united on some front. Should be a very interesting dynamic back at camp. Grab your torches, head back to camp, and have a good night. I shall see you all at the next one. It's gonna be exciting. Well, I gotta say I'm not that surprised at the result considering the events of the past few days. Pretty sure Troy would have gotten more if they went to tribal sooner. I did think Troy had a lot of potential for growth and a good story in the preseason, but alas, teenage phases, am I right? Well, hopefully Antaeus or Ty can carry on for him. There isn't too much to say about the voting logic. Lien and Hanu are integrated into the young adults now, and they basically split votes between Troy and Kajir. Kajir managed to be in the loop by having a tight bond with Hanu. And as I made this graphic, I just noticed that Tai is in 3 freaking alliances, hence the crown, because he's probably the king of the tribe. Troy and Charlotte voted for Lien not necessarily because they're aligned, but more so personal reasons and interactions. And here's the chart as well. Looks like all the hotties but Margot did Kajir while everyone else did Troy. Pretty good move splitting the vote, but Kajir had good instincts to not use his idol. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and we shall get to the power rankings now. This week's power rankings have hit a new high, for most at least. Honorable mention of the week goes to Hanu, who climbed up to number 3 on Wulong and in the overall cast. The old man's positive personality has attracted many of the youngsters to his side. And now, top 2 on Wulong goes to Lien! Mama has risen! Similar to Hanu, she made a lot of great bonds this week and sits the adults and the elders at the top. But they gotta try even harder to knock off Tai, who still retains his number 1 spot in the game after 4 episodes. For Menghu, top 2 this week goes to a new challenger, Antaeus! Antaeus has been in the middle all season, and I guess with some rivalries on the tribe getting stronger and him remaining unproblematic, he slips to the top. On top of Menghu this week is Malcolm! Malcolm completely turned his game around, juggling a showman and also making nice with people that he burned, like Violet. So a well-deserved throne in my opinion. And that is all I have for you today. If you enjoyed watching, please don't forget to leave a like down below and comment down all your thoughts and predictions. The next episode will most likely come on Friday, but I promise it's gonna be a very exciting one. Bye for now, and I will see you in the next one.